Senator Royce West championed legislation for criminal justice reform this session with mixed results. The Dallas Democrats, one of the longest serving members of the Texas legislature. I spoke with the senator about the contentiousness at the Capitol and what he sees as priorities as lawmakers move toward a special session.
I'd like to see us continue to work on police reform. We made some headway, and the governor was involved in some of that. I'd like to see us make some additional headway on that. In terms of the issue of maternal mortality, we made some strides on that. We moved it to 6 months as opposed to 60 days. And the question is, should it be 12 months? Medicaid, we should be looking at expansion of Medicaid. So there's a host of other issues. We've got to revisit the ERCOT issue also to make certain that ratepayers who will ultimately be saddled with the monies necessary in order to stabilize the industry, that we provide ratepayers, that is customers, residential customers, with some relief, knowing that they will ultimately see an increase in their rates as a result of what happened during the storm.
On the topic of criminal justice reform, that was something that you have been passionate about for a long time and you have worked on. The strides that were made this session, can you give me your level of satisfaction or your assessment on the changes that were made and what still does need to happen?
Well, let me, first of all, we were not able to pass quote unquote a George Floyd Act. Okay, we didn't do that. So again, as I told you before, substance over form, substance. Let's talk about that. In terms of substance, we were able to pass a statewide ban on chokeholds, a statewide duty to intervene, a statewide duty to provide assistance, common sense issues. So we're able to get that done. In terms of no-knock warrants, we're able to identify the persons, judges that were capable of making, of signing warrants, okay? And making certain the police officers identify themselves when they execute those particular warrants. But there's still much more work to be done. You know that I mentioned that we need to make certain that there's uniformity as a use of deadly force in the state. Well, we weren't able to even get the agency responsible for police officers to do a study and come up with a model policy concerning that. We want to continue to work on that to make certain that people know that there's uniformity in the use of deadly force in the state of Texas, especially now when the bill concerning permanent carry was passed. That didn't make police officers' jobs any safer. The fact is that they're going to have to be, their antennas are going to have to be up more so than ever before. I think there were some advances that were made, but again, there's other accountability measures that need to be looked at, reviewed, and passed. So I'll continue to work with the governor and others who want to work with those on those types of reforms to do that.
When we spoke with you right after the State of the State address in Lockhart, we were talking with you and we were talking with Representative Morrison about some of those key issues that the governor outlined. Do you feel now, here 4 months later, that we accomplished what you set out to accomplish and what you think the governor set out to accomplish in that address?
Well, no. I think that this has been the most divisive legislative session that I've ever been involved in. I mean, there's always this constant refrain, we don't want to be like Washington. Well, guess what, friends? We're like Washington now. That's a sad commentary on the legislature. We're divided more so ever than we've ever been in the past.
You've been around a long time.
Hey, wait a minute. I've been around a long
time. I mean, you've seen a lot of things, right? I mean, and this is not the first time you've been through this process. Can you help people understand why things fell by the wayside, some of these key issues? I mean, even things that were Republican priorities didn't make it. Why did that happen this time?
It happens every legislative session. Priorities don't get passed during the legislative process. Parties will use the parliamentary procedures in order to make certain that they either pass or that they help defeat different items. And in the final analysis, Wes, elections matter. You've heard me say this before. I don't blame Republicans at all. Okay? If people want change in the state, guess what they have to do? vote, vote. And Republicans have been out voting Democrats, and until we as Democrats get out and vote, we're going to continue to have the same situations. I can count, okay? If I had 18 votes, I'd be able to pass a George Floyd bill in the Senate. We had control of the House and the governor's branch, and I'd be able to pass a George Floyd bill. But absent having the numbers to do so, we're going to continue to have the same type of results.
There's much more to see from our interview with Senator West. We posted his complete interview online. You can also find my full interviews with Governor Greg Abbott, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, and Speaker Dade Phelan. Just look for the links in the Texas Politics section of your station's website. Thank you again for joining us for State of Texas. I'm Wes Rappaport. We'll be back next week to bring you an in-depth look at Texas politics.